Avengers Endgame is a conclusion to 11 years of the MCU. It follows after the events of Infinity War, after Thanos successfully wiped out half the universe, leaving only a handful of superheroes left trying to desperately reverse what Thanos did. This has to be one of the most anticipated movies of the year, and I can't imagine the pressure the Russo brothers were under to deliver an exciting and coherent movie, yet juggling all the characters at the same time. What the MCU has been able to accomplish so far with its connected universe really is amazing to see, and it's so satisfying to see all these characters grow and develop on the screen for the last 11 years. So did this film live up to the hype? I would say it did. I think it was a solid action-packed conclusion to Phase 3 of the Marvel Universe, but there's still some aspects of it which I felt fell short, which made this movie not quite as good as the previous Infinity War. I'm not going into too much detail here, but I think the main part of the movie, and what the character's main mission was, I think wasn't necessarily unexpected, but it's very interesting and unique compared to the other Marvel movies. It also led to some very compelling interactions between some characters, which are actually quite emotional at times. One of the gripes I would have about this movie was the pacing, especially at the very start of the movie, which seemed to go very fast and then slowed down quite a bit for about 45 minutes, and it was quite a jarring contrast. However, saying this, the movie is 3 hours long, but it doesn't really feel like it. If anything, I thought this movie actually felt shorter than Infinity War, but that's probably because most of the action is in the finale of the movie, which I think is the best finale of any of the MCU movies. The action in the end scene was insane, and so exciting to watch. But going back to the pacing, as I said, there's a section in the movie where it's quite a slow burn, but I wouldn't say it's boring. They use this time to really develop a lot of the characters and how they dealt with the recent events, and you really get to see them as down to earth as you have ever seen. You literally get to see them as just normal people who have suffered a massive loss, and it's almost sad to see them like this compared to the other movies when they seem so able to do whatever they need, and I was almost certain they would come out alive. But at the same time, it was really refreshing to have that uncertainty, to not know if someone's actually going to come out alive or not. Another problem I had with this movie was that the dialogue and some of the cinematography was quite noticeably worse than Infinity War. Although I think the final battle was better overall than Infinity War, I don't think it was shot quite as well, and that goes for some of the other action scenes throughout the film. As for the dialogue, I don't think it was bad, but there was just a surprising amount of cliché and overused lines. Not to mention a lot of the jokes fall flat. I also think there's quite a lot of instances where characters over or underreact to certain comments or situations, and I think it came off as unauthentic at times. As you can expect from a Marvel film, the CGI was amazing, even better than Infinity War I'd say, because in Infinity War there's still some shots that looked quite bad CGI wise, especially the shots of people's heads in mech suits, but in this film I would say the CGI is near flawless. I couldn't pick out a single shot that looked bad, so if I had to choose, I would say that Infinity War was a better movie, even though I think that this movie had a bit more of an interesting and unique plot, and had a better climax. I think Infinity War is more coherently put together, just in the raw technical aspects. Thanos as a character is also quite different in this movie compared to the last one, not really in a good way. Thanos was easily one of the best parts, if not the best part of Infinity War, and in this movie he is seen much less, but practically has no personality and depth that he had in the previous movie. If anything, he just seemed like any other generic Marvel villains, and I'm so grateful he was so much better in Infinity War, otherwise I think he would have been quite forgettable. But after saying all this, I wouldn't say Endgame is a bad movie. There's still quite a lot of enjoyment to get out of it, but I just think it's missing a few crucial aspects that Infinity War had, and I'm going to give it an 80%.